I have to be very careful about the words I use in this video, because it has to do with health of this kind up here, okay? Now I have to be careful because I had a channel previous to this by the same name, and a lot of my content had to do with that topic. And my experience, my personal first-hand experience with that system, and with little candies that I was given, and the side effects that they presented in my body, and how I had to go and stay in a facility, and the things that happened to me in the facility at the hands of people in positions of authority in white lab coats. Talks about all that. Had all my content ripped down, lost all my subscribers, had to start completely over. So I understand how serious this platform is about silencing people who dare to speak the truth on the topic having to do with this type of health right here. Okay? So, the world right now, if you had to give all of humanity a mental health diagnosis, what would come the closest to it, do you think? The most accurate diagnosis that you could give? I would say schizophrenia. Okay? That's what I would say. Because what are the symptoms of that? You don't know what reality is. You don't know what's real and what isn't. You don't know what's happening inside of you versus outside of you. Okay. What tends to happen in our culture is that if our culture is toxic in some way, and as a result of that toxicity is causing the people in that culture to become sick, the people get blamed, and they get told, oh, there's actually something inside of you that's causing you these symptoms, right? So here's some candy in a bottle with a prescription, okay? That way, we don't need to change the system that made you sick. We're not even going to acknowledge that it was the system. No. It's always us. We're the problem. We need to serve the system. The system doesn't need to serve us. That's what's going on. Always. And if it's true that humanity right now has a certain schizoid flavor, the system, and we are experiencing that, and we are, as a result, going to be confused about what the hell is reality, what is real and what is not, guess what's going to start happening? More people are going to be diagnosed by this system as having that disorder. That disorder which leaves the person not knowing what is real and what isn't. So be careful who you talk to about these things, about your confusion. You should be confused right now. We should all be confused. We should all be asking questions. But you have to be careful about who you run to. Who you talk to. Okay? And I'm not trying to foment fear or paranoia. I'm just saying, I have had very direct experience with this particular industry, with this beast. I've been inside of its belly. It gobbled me up and it did not want to let me go, because they thought they were going to have a lifetime little pill puppet. And I guarantee you, there are going to be a lot of people who are going to be getting some candies real soon, because they're going to be so overwhelmed by what's going on in the world. And I'm not gonna say anymore. I'm just saying, because I don't want this to get flagged. I don't want to have to start all over again with my channel. I rarely talk about this topic anymore. But this industry, and you know the industry I'm talking about, the one that deals with this right here and has little candies to feed everybody. They're in bed with technology. They're in bed with the people running the world. Okay? They're all heads of the same monster. And I'm not being real articulate here because I'm not using the words I would normally use because I don't want to get flagged. I think you know what I'm saying. soon it's not going to be just pills. It's going to be, we alter the genetics of plants, of seeds, of animals. Okay. You think that's not going to happen with us too? You think that that's not going to be a way in which they start treating disorders of the minds? Okay, and the people who talk about things like this, they probably have a disorder, right? Like, they would probably tell me I have a disorder of the schizoid flavor for daring to question things. For daring to question the system, the status quo. For daring to say that it's problematic in any way. This is how many of our mental disorders get labeled as such. That's how they get put in the diagnostic statistical manual in the first place. Who gets to decide what is a mental illness? That a certain way of thinking or being or talking is an illness. I'm not saying that there aren't actual illnesses of that flavor. I'm just saying which ones are actually illnesses and which ones are just behaviors we don't want in this system because they get in the way. They don't want people talking about certain things. They don't want people questioning certain things. I say they, I mean people pulling the strings. So my point is that intuitively I feel that because the world at large has become schizoid, you're going to see that manifest within human beings as well. And as a result of that, you're going to have more people medicated for that. When it's the system that is that. And people are actually just seeing and witnessing that as a reality. And that's how it almost always has been. Is that we medicate the people and we change the people to suit the system when it should be the other way around.